What's up, guys? It's your boy Brap Genius, and today I will be talking to you about what is the best starter bike for you personally.
Look back and watch me smack that all on the floor. Smack that, give me some more. Smack that till you get sore. Smack that, oh, smack that all on the floor. Smack that, give me some more. Smack that till you get sore. Smack that, oh.
Now, I know this topic has been beat to death by other motovloggers, but today, I want to talk about which bike is best for you to start on, you personally. Motovloggers usually talk about what they think is the best starter bike for, in general, probably from their perspective. But I'm going to try and explain which one is best for you based on your experience with riding or no experience with riding, or just how knowledgeable you are with certain things. I'm going to break down the different kinds of starter bikes and explain to you which one is good for you based on the category that it is. So first off, I'm going to start with the 250/300 class. These bikes are probably the ones that are going to teach you the most because they are geared so shortly, and they have very controllable power. You are probably going to get bored with them pretty quick if you like power, but who knows? There's people that ride them in general. They could be however old they are, riding for however many years. Some people just like that bike, so who knows, maybe you won't get bored of it. But that bike will definitely teach you the most because you're going to be shifting the gears so much and going through the power band and all of the gears, because it tops out at like 110, I think. So when you top out at 110, you're going to be using all the gears, whereas when you have a bike like this is a Gixxer 1000, this tops out at 190, I believe. What's up, officer? How you doing today, bud? Nah, but yeah, so that's really good for that. Now, for the people who should get this is a great bike if you've never ridden anything manual before, if you've never ridden dirt bikes, and you just want to get into motorcycles. You don't really have any sense of, power. You've never driven fast cars or anything. This is a great place to start because it's really going to give you the fundamentals you need to learn. And you can really, these are the people that are going to enjoy this bike a lot more than those who have ridden dirt bikes and stuff. But anyway, the people that are going to enjoy this bike are the people that have no experience, because they're going to be experiencing, something like this for the first time in their lives. So they'll get more enjoyment out of it and enjoy it for longer. So if you really don't have any experience with bikes or anything with any power, 200s or 250s and 300s are the best place to start. Now, there are tons of other classes too that I'm going to get into. You also have the 650 class, which is what a lot of people say is the best overall starter, and I agree with that. Now, 650s are good for if you have ridden something before, if you know how to drive manual, if you've done anything that involves, some kind of power, so you know how to control power. I mean, you can start on it if you've never ridden a motorcycle or dirt bike and you haven't really ridden anything with power. It's still possible. It's just, you have to be extremely careful. And this bike is something that you're probably going to be able to hold on to longer because you'll get more enjoyment out of it. You're not going to get as bored of it as quickly as you would with, a lower CC bike. And the good thing about 650s is they're considered sport touring bikes, so they're usually a little heavier. They're not as great in the turns as super sports, and that's awesome because it really teaches you how to turn, and it teaches you, what you need to do, how to handle certain situations better than when you get on a sport bike and you start off kind of lazy because, it kind of does the work for you. So for anybody that's really ever done any kind of, has any idea of how to control power, 650 has a solid amount of power. You can definitely start on a 650, in my opinion, even if you haven't ridden anything before, and you'll still be okay, as long as you respect the bike. If you you've ridden dirt bikes, you know, this could be enough for you too. I started out on dirt bikes, and I actually started on a 650 myself. And the 650 was, you know, enough power for me for a couple months, but I got bored of it. I wanted, you know, a super sport, so that was just a path for me. But not everybody thinks the same as I do, you know. You know, a 650 is a bike you can have for years and really enjoy, but they're usually not inline fours. Neither are the 250/300. So if you're looking for that, you know, really just aggressive sound like that, that's not going to have it. The bars are also going to be more upright on the 250/300, and the 650s actually have like straight bars. So it's good because you're more comfortable, but for me personally, I wanted that more aggressive feel with the sport bars. So for me, the 650 just was not what I was looking for long term. But it is a phenomenal starter bike, and I do suggest it. The final class, so to speak, you know, would be a 600cc Super Sport. So a bike like this, except it's not a 1000, it's a 600. And those are definitely not great starting bikes, even if you know what you're doing, because they're not going to teach you as fast as something else would. You're not going to be shifting as much. They have a lot more power. They're a lot harder to control. You know, you're more likely to get yourself into trouble and really hurt yourself on a 600 than you would with the other two classes. But then again, this is probably the one that you're not going to outgrow for a long time. You know, the 600s are more than what you need on the street, and that's coming from a guy who rides a 1000. 600s are definitely, in my opinion, the most fun out of the three classes, but they are also the hardest to learn on. And, you know, in all honesty, I think your best bet, you can get a 250/300 for really cheap. If you get a good deal on one, you can actually make money off of it. Ride it for a month, figure out what you're doing, sell it, and get a 600. Because if you get a good deal on it, you know, they pretty much flip pretty quickly. People buy those bikes because that's what a lot of people start out on. So if you get one for a good deal and you sell it for, you know, a couple hundred more than what you would bought it for, you could probably get that money. You can actually make money off the bike. Now, in terms of who should start on a 600, you know, this is really for people that have experience, you know, that have riding experience. If you don't have any riding experience at all, dirt, street, like nothing, I really don't suggest starting on a 600, because you're really likely to crash the bike and hurt yourself, and that's not what you want. You're better off sucking it up and getting something different to start on, and then moving up to that once you're comfortable and you know what you're doing. The people that I would suggest for it, if you've ridden dirt bikes for most of your life, and I'm not talking about like a little 50cc pit bike, if you've been riding, you know, 252 strokes, 125 2 strokes, you know, 300 and up 4 strokes, you have a good sense of power, you've been riding for years, you know how to go through gears and how to control a bike and how to handle in turns and stuff, then maybe you could start on a 600. If you have a really fast car and you know how to manage the power on it, and you really know how to drive manual, and you're confident, you're not stupid, you could probably start on a 600 as well. Starting on 1000s, you know, it has been done, it can be done, it will be done again. I really don't suggest that, because this bike is stupid. The amount of power on this bike is literally just, that's all, it's stupid. Like, it's stupid. Like, it does 0 to 60 in like 2.7 seconds. The top speed's like 190 miles an hour. And she just whips through the gears like they're nothing. You know, I could pass this car in half a second. I'm not going to, because I don't want to be a jerk, but I could so easily. So especially, I don't care how much, you know, knowledge you have, how many videos you've watched. If you've never ridden any bikes, you really shouldn't start on 1000. Hey, like I said, it can be done, but I really don't suggest that at all. But I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. I'm here to tell you what I think is best for you guys, because I want to see more people out here on the streets, more people on bikes. Now, if you want to start on a cruiser as well, I would suggest like a 750. Like, I have a Honda Shadow 750, and like that bike is definitely good for beginners. You're not going to be overpowered, and you know, you can really just learn how to ride it. You're not going to be on a huge cruiser. It is a big cruiser, but it's not huge, you know, so you can really get an idea. Or if you want a Harley, the 883s are really good beginner bikes for cruisers. For enduro, honestly, I think enduros are the best overall bike. If we're going to do like an overall starter bike, enduros are the best because they're so lightweight. You can have so much fun with them. You could take them on and off road. They're just a blast overall. I love enduros. Like, I'm making my YZ450, which is an enduro, I'm making that a supermoto just because of how much fun I have with it when I'm on the road. And don't get me wrong, I love my Gixxer. This is my ride or die bike, but you know, supermotos are a lot safer. You guys can look up the different kinds of bikes and see what you think would suit you the best. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. I want to thank you for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video with your friends if you're trying to all get into bikes. You know, it'll help them. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys. Peace.